Have you ever seen a job offer that was too good to be true? $5,000 for 1 week of doing absolutely nothing, just sitting in a house. I should have known better. I should have burned that piece of paper the moment I read the rules, but I didn't. And now, I don't think I'm ever leaving this house.
My name is David, and I'm a broke college student. That's the most common cliché in the world, I know. But when you're eating instant noodles for the 3rd week in a row, your survival instincts tend to override your common sense. That's why I accepted the job. It was posted on a bulletin board at my campus. House sitter needed. 7 days, remote location, $5,000 upon completion. No interview, just an email address. I sent my details, and within an hour, I had the address and a digital code for the front gate. The house was a mansion, a sprawling Victorian estate tucked away deep in the forest, miles away from the nearest town. It was beautiful, but it felt empty, not just uninhabited, but soulless. When I arrived, the owners were already gone. There was just an envelope taped to the kitchen island with my name on it. Inside, there was $1,000 in cash, an advance, and a single sheet of typed paper.
The header read, "House Rules." I chuckled. Rich people and their quirks, right? Probably don't scratch the antique table or water the exotic ferns. I was wrong. Rule 1. The lights in the hallway on the 2nd floor must remain on between 6 p.m. and 6 a.m. If a bulb burns out, there are replacements in the drawer under the sink. Change it immediately. Do not let the hallway stay dark for more than 1 minute. Rule 2. You may use the TV, the pool, and the kitchen. However, do not use the mirror in the master bathroom. If you accidentally look into it, maintain eye contact with your reflection for 10 seconds without blinking. If your reflection blinks before you do, run. Rule 3. Every night at 11:23 p.m., the landline in the living room will ring. You must answer it. Do not speak. Just listen. The person on the other end will breathe. When they stop breathing, hang up. If you do not answer, they will leave a voicemail. You do not want to hear the voicemail. Rule 4. The basement door is locked. It must stay locked. If you hear scratching from the other side, ignore it. It's just the pipes. If you hear a child crying, ignore it. We do not have children. If you hear your own voice asking to be let out, hide. Rule 5. Feed the dog at 8 a.m. and 8 p.m. His bowl is in the laundry room. His name is Buster. Note, we do not own a dog, but if you don't fill the bowl, Buster will come looking for food elsewhere, usually in the guest bedroom, where you are sleeping.
I put the paper down, feeling a cold shiver run down my spine. This had to be a prank, an elaborate, creepy joke to mess with the new guy. The first night was easy. I followed the rules sarcastically. I left the hallway light on. I fed the invisible dog, which was weird because the food in the bowl was gone the next morning. But the second night, that's when things started to feel wrong. At 11:23 p.m., exactly as the list said, the phone rang. The sound was deafening in the silent house. Ring, ring. I stared at it. It was an old rotary phone. I picked it up slowly. "Hello?" I whispered, forgetting the rule to stay silent. Silence on the other end. Then a ragged, wet sound, heavy breathing. It sounded like someone with fluid in their lungs. In, out, in, out. My hand shook. I stood there for what felt like an eternity. Then the breathing stopped. Click. I hung up, sweating. It's just a prank call, I told myself. They set this up. I tried to sleep, but at around 2 a.m., I woke up to a sound. Scratching. It was coming from beneath the floorboards. Rhythmic, sharp scratching, like metal on wood. I realized with horror that my room was directly above the basement. Scritch, scratch, scritch, scratch.
"Help me," a voice sobbed. I froze. It was a little girl's voice, muffled, coming from the floor vents. "Please, mister, it's dark down here. Open the door." My heart hammered against my ribs. Rule 4. If you hear a child crying, ignore it. We do not have children. I pulled the covers over my head like a 5-year-old. The crying turned into giggling after a while. A low, malicious giggle that didn't sound like a child at all.
Day 3 and 4 passed in a blur of anxiety. I wanted to leave, but I needed the money. And honestly, I was scared that if I tried to leave, whatever was in the basement would know. On the 5th night, I messed up. I was in the kitchen making a sandwich. I glanced at the clock. 11:30 p.m. My blood ran cold. The phone rang at 11:23 p.m. I hadn't heard it. I had been listening to music with headphones on. I ran to the living room. The little red light on the answering machine was blinking. One new message. If you do not answer, they will leave a voicemail. You do not want to hear the voicemail. I stared at the machine. I knew I shouldn't play it, but curiosity is a curse. And the silence in the house felt heavy, like the air pressure had dropped. I needed to know. I pressed play. First, there was static. Then, a voice. My voice. "David, David, are you there? Why didn't you pick up?" It sounded exactly like me, but distorted. Wrong. "It's okay, David. Since you didn't answer the phone, I'm coming upstairs to talk to you in person." The machine clicked off. A loud thud echoed from the basement door. I spun around. The heavy oak door to the basement, which had been locked all week, rattled violently. The knob turned. I backed away, grabbing a kitchen knife, my hands trembling. The door creaked open. There was nothing there but pitch-black darkness. A smell hit me. Rot, wet earth, and old copper. Then, a hand reached out from the darkness. It was pale, elongated, with too many joints in the fingers. It gripped the doorframe. Then, a second hand. And then, a face peeked out. It was my face, but the eyes were missing. Just hollow, black sockets leaking a thick, black liquid. "You broke the rules, David," the thing wearing my face said, its jaw unhinged, hanging loosely. "Rule number 6, never let the basement door be opened from the inside." I didn't wait to hear the rest. I ran. I sprinted to the front door, fumbling with the locks. I could hear heavy, wet footsteps slapping against the hardwood floor behind me. They were fast, inhumanly fast. I threw the door open and bolted into the night towards my car. I dropped my keys. "No, no, no," I screamed, scrambling in the gravel. I felt a hot breath on my neck. "Where are you going, David?" My turn to house sit. I found the keys, jammed them into the ignition, and tore out of the driveway. I didn't look back. I drove until the gas tank was empty, 2 towns over. I never went back for my stuff. I never went back for the money. But that's not why I'm writing this. I'm writing this because yesterday I got a letter in the mail, no return address. Inside was a check for $5,000 and a new note. "Thank you for your service. However, you left your shift early. Buster is still hungry, and he has your scent now." I'm hearing scratching under my bed as I type this, and I live in a 3rd-floor apartment. I think I need to check the rules again. Thank you for listening. If you enjoyed this nightmare, please leave a like and subscribe to the channel. There are many more stories waiting in the dark. Sleep well, if you can.